Hello, Terry. Welcome. I guess I messed up the schedule today. First race is about ready to start, so we might as well just make our picks. Go ahead.
Okay, so I like in this first race the number 5 horse. And what are we doing? Finished sixth in the debut race after studying at the half, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 35% of the races when running a horse the first time in a maiden claim race, and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 4 Rizzler's Girl is first time starter. Dam has 2 winners from 3 starters. Number 2, Thirst of Hope, first time starter. Dam has 1 winner from 2 starters. Number 6, Anita Glass Wine, first time starter. Dam has 4 winners from 6 starters. Your turn.
I have the 5, the 2, the 6, and the 4, and they're running right now. I like the 5 because he's in a second race, dropping from the maiden special weight. The 2 horse inside post should help. Best works of the 3 closely ranked first timers, then the 6, then the 4, and it looks like right now it's between the 5 and the 1. And nobody else really making up a lot of ground on those 2 horses, as the 5 horse was the even money favorite. Down on the rail, somebody's making a pretty aggressive charge at the moment. Looks to me like that might be the 6 horse, but the 1 horse thinks he still has horse, or he's going to fade hard because the jockey's looking between his legs for the other oncoming rushers. The 5 and the 1 continue to battle it out. Looks like the 1 horse, the one that we don't have, Terry, the both of us, it's going to end up taking home the top prize in the opener, although the 2 horses definitely trying hard. 1, 5, 2, 6, 4, I think, is how it's going to go. Yes, the 4 horse jogging in at the end. I guess I completely messed up the scheduling there, Terry, so I apologize. I figured, I don't know, I thought it started at 11:20. Anyway, what's up? My day picks will be up in 5 minutes. Well, hopefully we can get things in order now, Terry. Race today, free track is Ajax Down at Horse Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link in the description below. Please make sure you use that so they know where you're coming from. Since we missed race number 1, Terry, sort of, but race number 1 completely. Race number 2, let's see if we can get on track here where we have a pick 4, maybe some bets too.
Yeah, it's a 6 furlong race. It's a claiming race, $6,250 claiming price, $19,000 purse, and it's for fillies and mares and upward.
We got a little bit of cash yesterday, Don Johnson, in that abbreviated card at Parks for the second day in a row. That opening pick 4, I think, paid $366, and well, that was in the cards there. In race number 2, 6 furlongs. You're looking for horses, profile of a winner. That stock, although Richard Petty, 43%. Go wire to wire. There's a very strong inside to outside bias. Well, Terry, we didn't get to talk about the horses in race number 1, but we will talk about the horses in race number 2. We said there's a lot of speed. Inside matters. And it looks like one on the rail, Terry, has all of the giddy up and go.
Yeah, the 1 has the most speed, but there are several others that show some speed too. So I really think this is an anyone's guess race if the 1 has any trouble at all getting out of that gate.
Yes, indeed. Well, we see the race shape here, Terry. None are really true front runners. Most of the horses want to be to the middle and back. That should favor speed. That looks like that 1 horse could be a part of that early mix. We call those left arrow types, the horses that usually are middle back, that their normal pace puts them close to the front. And along with that, Terry, very high probability that today's race matches the 1 Tom Char's best performances.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see there, that the 1 has a really good C-zone. It's going to feel very comfortable in this race. So.
Yes. And everybody in this race so far has been able to find a par speed figure of 75, according to those at Brisnet. And again, most of the horses today, Terry, when we did our 1,000 simulations projecting out speed figures, most of them have a pretty good chance to do it again today.
Yeah, you can see there that whoops, I missed here. If you can see there, you can see that all of them have some kind of a percentage too, but the only one that's above that 50% threshold is that 1 horse.
Yes, indeed. The 1 also has a top last race speed figure, 4 points better than everybody else. The 1 horse also scoring a total pace advantage. So we add the early speed, early pace, and late pace. We come up with total pace. If all things play out, the 1 horse has about a 1 and maybe a head or a nose advantage over everybody else in here. Terry, usually 70% of the winners come from the top 4. Well, today they should come out of there. Only 5 horses in the field. Who are your 4?
Well, let me tell you, in this race here, I went with the 1, which is my pick, best bet of the day, and it's actually a change because of all the scratches. I was on the 7th race, and I changed to the 2nd. But I like the 1, Tam Char. She finished in the money in 7 races out of her last 8 starts, winning 3 of those races, has a high percentage, our highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like Explosive Exchange, the 2. She drops in class today. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 18% of the claiming races. She has a horse running in, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 6, True Sunrise. Finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race. Drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Fancy Princess, the 4. My long shot finished in the money in 3 races out of her last 4 starts, winning 1 of the races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play the first pick 4, Miami Vice Don Johnson, 1-2, with a 2-6-9, with a 1-4, and I'm going to finish up with a 1-2-3-6-8, 10, 11, and 12. I might have to change that because I don't think I did. I didn't. I might have to change that. I do have to change that. So.
Well, yeah, and just to point out, as I was kind of going through things, in race number 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, you do have the 7 in your picks as your 4th pick, but is not in your pick 4. So
because of all the scratches, I neglected to go back and change my pick 4. But as far as the win, as far as my bet for the pick of the damn bet, 20 to win on the 1, a $10 exacta box 1-2, and a $10 exacta 1 over the 4-6. I left some money for the 7th race because I also like that one, but there are not very many horses in that race anymore. So I'll fix this while you're talking about yours. Okay.
Well, the 1 horse is your even money favorite to start the day. Top last race speed figure, 4 points better, as we pointed out in the smart sheet. Top total pace, more than a length. I'm going to go with a little bit of a long shot in my 2nd spot. Fancy Princess. Last time out, the horse showed some speed early on and then faded. Then does have a pretty good workout between starts, hopefully to improve the late race stamina and catching a weight break today to help accentuate that giddy up and go. Number 2, Explosive Exchange. This is a track dropper that exploded in her first start off the sidelines, just like today. And then number 6, True Sunshine, consistent performer that was better in the early part of its last race. I mean, the 1 horse is probably the one to beat, but I team it up with a long shot on my pick 4, 1-4, 5, 7, 9, and 10, 2, 3, 4, 7, 1, 2, 7. That is a $48 ticket. Terry looks like he has his pick 4 all arranged now. So it's the 1, 2, 2, 6, 9, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 in the final leg. Race 3, Terry, is next on our agenda. Let's talk about the conditions for the 3rd.
Okay, well, it was originally going to be on the turf, but now it's off the turf, and it's going to be a mile and a 16th, I believe, on the regular.
I think it's a mile and 70 yards still.
Oh, that's right. It's a mile and 70, but they didn't change it, I guess, the distance. But anyway, it's for 3-year-olds and fillies and mares and 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $16,000 or less, and which have never have not won 3 races or claiming race of $16,000, or which have never won 3 races.
So at $170, not on the turf, but on the dirt, you're looking for stalkers. Still a healthy 38% win, wire to wire. There's a small rail bonus for Hazelmore Beach. 2 and 3 get discounted. 4 through 7 are best. Our fair 8 and out. Those post positions prove to be the best. In the 3rd race, Terry, we do have one that looks like a standout when they start.
Yeah, you can take a look there in that 3rd race and see that 5 should get out there and get to that fit a quarter pole first. The 5 has double the speed of everything else according to the data.
Yeah, we have an interesting looking par race here. The top 2 haven't hit par. The 3 in the middle have come close. The 2 at the bottom, indeed, they have hit par. Terry, today who's got the best chance to do it again according to our par plus score?
Well, they all pretty similar there, except for that 1 and that 6 have no chance according to the data. But the one with the highest amount is the 9, followed up by that 10.
Yeah, indeed. We see over here too. Many horses going up in class today. You got 2 class droppers with the 6 and the 10. Again, we got an interesting race shape in here, Terry, in that you have almost everybody wants to be at the middle or back except for the 5. Once again, we see the likely pace setter, Terry, on the EP against a bunch of horses that want to be middle back with a strong C-zone, much better than everybody else's. Where does he rank in terms of jockeys and trainers?
Well, actually, in this race here, the 7 has the best jockey, and the 9, 7 and 9 have the best jockeys, and the 10 has the best trainer. But I really think that it's really a toss-up between the 7 and 9, who's the best trainer jockey combination.
The best in terms of total pace is the 7 with the 10, 9, and 6. So not including the speed where 38% go wire to wire. Terry, who did you include in your third race picks?
Okay, well, I like in this race here the 2 worldwide win. She won her last 2 races in a row and now goes for a hat trick. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and she can handle this distance. And then I like the 9 Tekka. She has won 2 races out of the last 3 races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. G for the win. The 6, my third choice. She likes the off track, so she should do well in this race. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and blinkers are added. And then I like the 10 as my long shot. She finished third in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here. So.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the 9 Tekka. The last 2 times that this horse ran on dirt, again, this race was scheduled to be on the turf. And coming off, I think, is helpful because when it ran on dirt, it went dirt, turf, dirt. Those two dirt races were wins. And either one of those races today would be a third dirt win in a row. The 7, Heaven's Promise, won her last race, was the only trip on an off track, and won bigly. Number 10, Mischiefness, might get a lot of play in this spot, but the dirt record is highly questionable. And then the 5 horse Can Do. I feel like in a race where you got a whole bunch for almost 40% going wire to wire, someone's got a great chance to be on the lead with that strong C-zone. We've seen that combination go wire to wire a ton of times. So I'm going to do 50-cent trifecta boxes. I think we can get some odds in this race. We have no idea who's going to be ranked where. 5, 7, 9, and 10, and then a $1 exact the key box 9 with all, which takes us to race number 4, which is the center race of the day. I'm only a 7 race card. Talk about stealing, Terry. We missed the first race almost. Then there's only a 7 race card. So yeah, we're getting away on the light side today. But what is the Keystone race all about?
Yeah, in this 4th race, we're going to go 5.5 furlongs, a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse is $16,000 for fillies 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, well, at 5.5 furlongs, you better be fast because 59%, that is a giant number, win wire to wire. So win the race to the 3/16 marker. I think that's where they usually do the first call on 5.5 furlong races. And you'll also win the race to the finish line. Inside, it does better than outside, and nobody from post position 8 or out has won yet. So in the 4th race, Terry, if you can find one on the inside, it's going to get ahead of everybody else. You got a pretty good chance to win. And it does look like the 3 inside horses, they're the ones to beat early on.
That's right. The 2 and the 3 could go head to head to that quarter pole if they get out of there good out of that gate fine and have good decisions by the jockeys.
Yeah, and we look at the early pace here, Terry. The 3 horse does have a 5-point early pace advantage, which means at its peak, that horse could be 1 length ahead of everybody else, although the 2 and the 1 are to its inside. So might have to work, along with those 3 horses being the fastest when the gates open, Terry. They're also the only 3 that have hit par.
That's right. You can see that 1, 2, and 3 have hit par. And then the 4, 5, and 6 have not. And the 7 came within 2 points of equaling or exceeding the speed par number for this race. And then as far as the ones that have a chance today, all of them show a chance except for the 4 and 5. And the one with the best chance, according to the data, is the 2.
Harmonizing. And when you go back and look at the end of the day, and if you want to look at the smart sheet, there is a link in the description here on YouTube. There's also a link to the explanations. Over and over and over and over and over again, you'll find a lot more often than not, winners have yeses in their par race column, and then maybes would be your runner-up. The no's, they win, but at a very discounted rate. We also see that most of our winners have some last race improvement. That's where these arrows come in. So keep an eye out for that. Terry, over here we see another race where most of your horses want to be middle back. Could favor speed, Terry, but that closer right here might find how fast they go much to its liking.
Yeah, that horse has the numbers that show that it's probably going to be the most comfortable running in this type of a race.
Yeah, so what we mean by that is we look at today's pace, early pace, and we compare it to a horse's best performance or performances. And in basically 750 out of 1,000 simulated races, just the things raced today should match its best performances. We also see here that means that this race should be fast early on, but that late speed figure of 7.3 has about a 1.5 length advantage over everybody else down the stretch. Also makes it our simulation favorite and our top total pace favorite with the 2, 4, and 6. 7 out of 10 winners coming out of those top 4 here. Terry, who are your top 4?
Well, I like in this race the 4, Step Lightly. She won her last race at Delaware Park. Her early speed burning style helps chances, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I like number 1, Maddie 10, has a high percentage winning trainer, drops in class today. The rail post winning a 21% clip. She can improve while returning to dirt, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 2, Harmonizing. My third choice finished second in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 20% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again to race. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then 3, Storm and Heist is my third, or long shot, won her last race at Delaware Park, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Okay, I'm going to play the last pick for my advice, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the 2, 5, 6, 7, with the 1, 5, 7, with the 4, 8, $48 cost.
Where you stop, I start. Your long shot is my top pick for this race. Storm and Heist, with 59% of the horses going wire to wire. You got to put some of those speed horses on top. This one very likely could be your pace setter with that 5-point early pace edge. And this is the second start after a layoff. And one of the things I like to do, Terry, is go back and look at patterns. And when this horse has made second starts before, you have one here. It jumped from 68 to 76. You have another one here where it jumped from 57 to 69. So that horse tends to take big leaps in round 2s off the bench. I'm banking on the early pace and that leap today. Number 2, Harmonizing, is a left arrow horse. What I mean by that, it's one over here. It's a lone PC whose early pace should put it up towards the front there, Terry. It is also, along with that, the PC type that should ride shotgun. That should work out well in terms of trip. Number 4, Step Lightly. Better across the board with all of its pace last time out, and a very, very consistent performer. So the others will have to show some pop to beat it. And then Just the Thing was a tough call for me over the 1 horse, who is the morning line favorite. But the 7 is your simulation favorite and your top total pace horse, along with the strongest C-zone, and has the biggest in-race advantage down the stretch. 50-cent pick 4, 2, 3, 4. You might as well just single the 7, folks, because that's the next one on my list. With the 1, 2, 7, with the 1, 5, 7, with the 4, 8, and 12, $40.50 for me. 50-cent trifecta box, 2, 3, 4, and 7. And then another one of those $1 exact key boxes, 3 with all in race number 4. Before we go on to race number 5 tomorrow, we'll do Saratoga. So no stealing tomorrow, Terry. It's an 11 race card, so that should be fun on the opening day. probably big fields, and who knows, with all that rain out there, the track could be a little bit sloppy or wet still. Should be a lot of fun. To make sure you don't miss the opener for Saratoga, Terry, what should you do right now?
Well, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell that tells you when the program's going to start. Gives you about 30-minute lead of when the program will start. Copy the link at the bottom, share it with everybody you know. They can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites such as X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, and at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and also keep the comments and picks coming as Private Ross and Don Johnson have been doing this morning. We like to see them and they help us.
Yeah, kindly let us know where you're from. If you have any ideas today at any track, or you got like a baseball game or anything where you feel like you can, heck, a stock, a Bitcoin, or cryptocurrencies, I guess they call them now, whatever you feel like, can put a few extra dollars in people's pockets. We are all ears here, Terry. All right, race 5. This one, Terry, another that was supposed to be on the turf that's been moved to the muddy dirt. What are the conditions for the 5th?
All right. Well, it's still going to be ran, I believe, at 1 mile and a 16th. And it's for optional claiming race. It's a $32,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. It's a $25,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have started in a claiming price of $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $32,000 to $25,000, and which have never won 2 races.
Yes, indeed. Those are the conditions. So we don't have any profile of a winner information for 1 mile and a 16th on the dirt. That will change. It was up to the middle of the night last night working on some profile of a winner stuff and actually some other interesting things with money pools. We're going to start also focusing on which money pools are the most attractive to attack. So the bigger the money pool, the better chance you have to win, bigger payouts, especially if you like some horses that aren't at the top of the tote board in terms of low odds. All right, Terry, in this race, we don't know anything about the profile of a winner, but we do know that the rail horse is going to win, the one that everybody will have to catch at some point.
Yeah, that one shows double the speed, almost triple the speed of all the other horses. Although the 6, 7, and 2 have a chance if that one has a bad break or doesn't feel like running today.
Yeah. One also looks like, I mean, it's tough to say because what scratches in here, but it does look like a pretty steady overlay there too.
Yeah, actually it does. If you take a look there, 3 to 2 to 15 to 1, and then the 4 shows an overlay from 8 to 1 to 20 to 1. 6 shows an overlay from 5 to 2 to 15 to 1. So, of course, because of the scratches, that all can change.
Yeah, not only that, folks, but moving surfaces makes a difference too. 4 class droppers, 2 class risers. Over here, Terry, it does look like the 2 horse, pretty strong jockey. The 5 horse, pretty solid trainer over there. Who's going to get the best trip according to our comfort zone index?
Well, you can see that they all have some percentages, but the 1, 2, 5, and 7 are all above 50%, especially the 5.
Yeah, the 5 horse looking good, although it's supposed to be an E-horse. Might not be on the lead, so might find it challenging. We do see here Great Artist with all the scratches ends up with an 8-point last race speed figure. Again, Andrew Beyer, if you watch the show, he is the godfather of speed figures. Says anytime a horse has a last race speed figure advantage of at least 3 points, that horse has to catch your eye. It does catch our eye at the bottom of the top total pace in there, Terry. 6, 1, 4, and 7. One of the winners likely to come out of that grouping. And in your view, where is the winner going to be found?
Well, I like the 6, Pops Harper. He won his last race at Penn National, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like number 2, Warrior Wayne. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and he switches a high percentage winning jockey. Then the 5, Shellback, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and blinkers are added today. 7, Great Artist, won his last race at Laurel Park, earning the highest last speed rating. No additional bets for me here.
Yeah, that highest last race speed figure, as I pointed out, was 8 points better than everybody else. So far, I think both races were on the turf, but this horse has plenty of upside in only its 3rd career start. And if you look below on the works, you'll see that the dirt workouts, they rate to run on the new surface today. Number 1, the Latin Rebel. Big time simulation favorite. Drops and the best par plus, and very likely the one to catch. Number 2, Warrior Wayne. That one, Terry, is a Churchill Downs track dropper that has definitely run against much better, at least last out. It's clear they want to sell this horse because they claimed it for $30,000. Then they ran it into optional claiming for $125,000. Now basically back to the level that they claimed it for. So if they do sell it, they still make a pretty good profit since buying the horse in May. And then Pops Harper, the 6 horse, third off the sidelines. This horse still has not crossed the finish line first. Last time out, it finished second, but got DQ'd into the maiden win in the 11th race of its career. So until it crosses the finish line first, despite having the top total pace and being the lone P horse, a Sesame Street horse, I have to say, show me a win before I can show you the top of my ticket. $10 to win on the 7 and a $2 exact the box with the 1, the 2, and the 7 for me. Looks like race 2 might be ready to go here, Terry. Well, they're still a little while away. Looks like there's one horse running around the track by himself off to the side on the picture there. So I don't know if the jockey is just taking him away from the lead pony or if indeed there's something going on. But while we wait to see about that, when the show is over, if you head on over to horseracingtoday.net, all of our picks along with the race replay, the show will be right here in the middle of the screen. If you click on that, it'll take you here and you will see there will be the race replay right there along with all of our comments. Hopefully they don't cancel shortly after we go off air as they have done the last 2 days. While you're on horseracingtoday.net, right there is an HRT gear bud. Click on that. It'll take you over here to our merchandise shop, and you can get a lucky number 13 shirt like I'm sporting today, or a red number 1, as I'm definitely matching in colors today, Terry. Do red and brown go together?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I like it.
I'm not quite sure. But in any case, you can customize it. So if you want the red hat to go along with the 13, there you go. That actually looks pretty good, I feel like, Terry. I don't know. Is that red or pink? What do you think? Kind of pinkish to me. Anyway, no matter what color you pick, no matter what number you pick, hat, t-shirt, there's 20% off of everything for the next couple of days. Make sure you take advantage of that. And along with the description to the how to use the smart sheets, today's smart sheet, there's also a link to our tip jar in the description on YouTube. If you like what we do here and Terry's best bet hit in the 2 races today, or any of mine hit, or you just like what we do, go ahead and head over there and let us know your appreciation with a tip. We're baristas today, right? Help the show. Hit that like button. 1,000%. It is free, as our good friend Don Johnson points out once again. Again, tomorrow we'll be back for Saratoga. I think with the 4th of July, probably not going to be a Foreign Friday. More likely going to be Rich on the golf course. So we'll let you know about that. And then you got to get out there and get your entertainment too, Terry, right?
That's right. Everybody needs to do that.
Everybody needs a little bit of fun.
You work a lot, really hard for all these people, all these fans. So
race number 1, 2, about to get cooking. The 1 horse, you know what, Terry? He's only 4 to 5. I thought he'd be much lower than that. I know the gates haven't opened yet, so there's a chance he'll be 1 to 5 by the time they hit the half-mile marker.
Could be.
Yeah, we'll see. So right now you got the 1 horse. Looks like the 2 horse offers a little value. The 4 horse offers a lot of value. The 5 horse, no value there. The 6 horse, probably a little overpriced on the grounds. Here he has the 1 and 2 to start his pick 4. I have the 1 and the 4 to start my pick 4. So I guess in some sense, we're hoping for the 1 to win. The 2 horse has darted out to the lead with the 1 horse down on the rail. 4 horse with a firm hold behind the 2 front runners. Then the 6 horse. They make their way down the backstretch. In the back of the pack, all by myself, is Forest Acclamation. They go down the backstretch still as they head towards the turn. The 2 gray horses on the lead, followed closely by the 4. That would be Fancy Princess. And the 6 horse, which would be True Sunshine. The 4 and the 6 taking a wide path. Never really a big fan of that, to be honest with you, Terry. I don't know why you would do that in a short race unless there's an absolute advantage to going outside.
Yeah.
I don't personally think that there is, but right now the 6 horse is in control of the race, although the 4 horse is going to try to take a wide path to catch him. I don't know that he will, but he's certainly given it an effort. He's pulling up, and the 6 horse is kind of veering out into his lane. So it looks like the 6 horse, Terry, is going to come home the winner. The only question is, will there be an objection? Because the 6 horse definitely came out about 3, I would say 3 lanes. Tough to say. So there goes our pick 4s, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, I would like for it to do better than that. What are we on, race number 6 now?
Yeah, we are. You go to race 6. So
all right. So let's head off to the last 2 races of the day for the Daily Double, starting in the 6th spot.
Okay, so in that 6th race, we're going to go to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race, a $3,200 claiming price, a purse $25,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have started in a claiming race for $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $32,000 to $25,000, and which have never won 2 races.
Well, I would expect there will be an objection, Private Ross. I just don't know what they're going to do with that, because I mean, if I was on the 4, I would certainly object, because the 4 is inside. The 4 is on the outside trying to go by, and the 6 horse is crossing his path. You have to pull up in order to not clip heels. But then it didn't really look like the 4 broke stride either, so it's going to be a really tough call. If the jockey, like in basketball, how they get touched and they all sell it, the jockey should have sold it and probably would have had a pretty good shot at getting a DQ into the winner's circle. But we'll find out in a minute. At 1 mile and 70 yards earlier in the day, we talked about one that was supposed to be on the turf that got moved to the dirt. So we know that stalkers do good, but still 38% of the time, the horse with the lead keeps the lead all the way around the track. Seems like that could be a trend today, as nobody wants dirt kicked up into their face. Small rail bias, 2 and 3 discount, 4 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. That's the best place to be, Terry, in race number 6. And, looks like some speed on the outside.
That's right. Take a look there. That 6 shows the most speed, but the 1 and the 2 on the inside also shows some speed.
Yeah, I don't see an objection yet at all, which kind of shocks me, to be honest with you. You got the 1 and the 2 that could make the job hard for the 6 horse to get to the lead. But as we take a look at this race, Terry, nobody has been able to get to an 88 speed figure yet. Do any of them have a chance today?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. If you take a look there, that 5 and the 6 show some percentages. 27% for the 5 and 17% for the 6. That could equal or exceed the speed par number for today's race.
Yeah, if we see down here that once again we get a race shape that should favor the 6 horse, Terry, because everybody else wants to be middle back. 6 should be on the lead, has the top C-zone score in the race, but he does not have the top jockey or trainer. It's a clear winner there.
Yeah, that's that 7 horse has the best jockey and trainer, and it's probably the best combination.
Well, they don't even care if you cut off horses at Delaware Park, apparently, because there was not an objection, and the 6 horse has been declared your winner. Race is already official, and that is that. Our top 4 total pace horses include the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 1. Terry, your top 4 picks include the same horses, just in a little bit different order.
That's right. I like the 5 Armed and Dangerous. Ran second versus similar in his last race, winning the previous start, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 1, Where's My Chew, was won 2 races out of the 5 career starts, has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Game Time Gladiator, the 7 is my 3rd choice. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, and he has a best dirt speed among today's starters. And then he also has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 6, Magic Mover, long shot, switches to high percentage winning jockey, has a high percentage winning trainer, and a good workout on June 28th at 4 furlongs.
All right. I like the 7 horse Game Time Gladiator. Top choice for me on a day where so far top choices haven't done so well. But this one, Terry, does have a just miss in its first Delaware Park run after coming in from Churchill Downs. And you have the dynamic Delaware duo of Jamie Ness and Jaime Rodriguez. That combination wins 1/3 of the races, and surprisingly, a very close to break even ROI. I think for every dollar you bet, you get 89 cents back. And for a group that wins at 33%, mostly on favorites, that's a pretty high ROI. I mean, still a little bit of loss, but still. Usually you see those things like -$1 or -$2. Where's My Chew? Is the most consistent performer in the race. That's what the 6 was in that last effort. Number 5, Armed and Dangerous, is our simulation favorite, our top par plus, and our top total pace horse in there. And then finally, Magic Mover, the 6 horse. Got to give the most likely pace setter a chance, where 3 out of 8 winners go wire to wire. I'm going to do a $10 double. 10 to win on the 7, and then a $10 double, 7 with the 4/8 for race number 7, which is the final race of this wet Wednesday at Delaware Park. So far, a slow start. So we got 5 races to catch up, Terry, one of which could be the 7th. And that one's all about what?
That's a 5 furlong. It was originally on the turf, and now it's off of the turf to the main track, and it's still 5 furlongs. Optional claiming race at $20,000 claiming price, and then the first $29,000 is for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $12,500 or less in 2023, 2025, or claiming price of $20,000 to $16,000. There you go.
Yeah, so a lot for just a short race, right? Seems like the conditions are longer than the race. On the opener, we were at 5 furlongs. 5 furlongs on the dirt, early speed. 3 out of 7 so far have gone wire to wire. I think in that opening leg, the horse that won did get out to the front there and kind of hang in there, but did get closed by at the end. There's a strong rail. 2 and 3 get a discount. 4 through 7 have been bad. 8 and out has been strong. And the final race for today, Terry, on our smart sheets, who's going to be your pace setter?
Well, several of them show speed, and they're all pretty darn close, or at least 3 of them are. So I just think it's anyone's guess who gets that quarter pole first.
Yeah, not a guess which ones can hit par for this level, Terry, although it's off the turf, so probably a little misleading because the dirt conditions would be a bit different. But we do know that one is dropping a class. The rest are either flat or moving up. We also see that one of them here, Terry, has a very strong chance based upon the jockey and trainer.
Yeah, that's that 4 horse. He's got the best jockey and best trainer, so best combination.
Also, our simulation favorite with the 4, tied with the 8. Matitude also has a 5-point last race speed figure. Got to point out that the 9 horse scratched late, so he's not a part of the mix here. So we got to take that one off the charts here. If we look at our race view, you do see that, again, a race where most everybody wants to be middle back. The pace setter with a good shot to be up front here, though, today, Terry. Not necessarily the best C-zone. The 12 horse, that could be a left arrow horse, but does get a good comfort zone, but not as good as another. Who are the horses here that are likely to see a race that matches their top efforts?
Well, the 4 and the 5 have the best amount, followed up by that 12, and then, of course, the 9 scratch. So there's those 3 horses have they're going to be very comfortable in this race. So.
Yes, you have the 8-4, the 11-12. It looks like the 4 horse and the 8 horse, according to our sim odds, with the 9 being out of the mix. One of those 2 has a good shot, although that 8 horse with that 5-point last race speed figure number could be something to contend with. Terry, for the last time today, you have another bet of the day.
I do, and originally the 4 was going to be my best bet of the day, and I changed because of all the scratches, and I'm thinking that the 4 is going to be very short price. So I went ahead and picked that as my first choice. She's finished the money in 6 out of her last 7 starts. She's won 3 of those. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 8 was only beaten at 1 3/4 legs versus tougher the last start. Drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. The 11 Golden Can finished second in 1 race out of 3 starts at Delaware Park. She can prove at the shorter distance she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 12, my long shot, drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet the rest of my money 25 to win on the 4. And then a $5 exacta, 8, 11, and 12 on top, with the 4 running second.
All right. Well, I think the 8 horse with that top last race speed figure, Terry, because I wanted to give you a boost by not putting the 4 on top. So I put the 8 on top with that last race speed figure advantage of a handful of points and your top total pace horse. I think the move to dirt from turf is a big plus for Matitude. A big plus, too, for Lady Zeta. Once again, we find Jamie Ness, Jaime Rodriguez teaming up. Third start after a layoff for this one, and another that benefits from the move from the turf to the dirt. And then Pinto's Little Girl, the 12 horse in there, Terry, could be the pace setter as a yes horse and a strong C-zone. Should like being out towards the front today. And then Golden Can. If the 12 doesn't lead, the 11 will lead, Terry. But if you look through the past performances, it doesn't look like this one cares for dirt at all. Much prefers the grass. So I downgraded a little bit on the surface switch, whereas the first two, I upgraded them on the surface switch. No additional bets for me in the ending race for today at Delaware. Again, I feel like we're stealing. Here are our picks for the whole day. In race number 1, I think the 6 horse came home first. If I recall correctly, Terry, maybe I don't remember. And in the last race, I think that the 6 horse won again. Is that right?
Well, the one won the first race, and neither of us had it. But then the 6 did win the second race.
All right, so 1, then 6. So that means a 10 wins the next race, Terry, because off on there. That's in that order it goes. Here's the way we see the remaining 5 races. Hopefully, we do better in those than we did in the first 2. Tomorrow, for sure, I know we will do the opening day fun at Saratoga. It should be the marking, in horse racing, it's the beginning of summer, not June 21st, when Saratoga and Del Mar get going. Again, free picks today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet for Ajax Downs. You can catch that. The link in the description below. If you like the smart sheets, and you should get to like them because there's more coming, so get to know them now, along with the explanations, a link for all of that in the description on YouTube. Shortly, we'll timestamp every race so you can come back and watch them as they develop at your convenience. Any interactivity you have between us and the show helps boost our search engine scores, so thank you for that, for watching, A, for B, for commenting, C, for coming back. We appreciate all of those things. Terry, before we get up and out of here, any final thoughts from you on this wet hump day with Hollywood Hay?
Yeah, just be careful with all this rain. I mean, it looks like it's going to be at like 6 inches of rain in an hour in the east out there. So just be very careful. And if you're going to play Saratoga tomorrow, starting with the races tomorrow, good luck. Come back and check our picks and see what you like and see how it works for you. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow at Saratoga.
Yeah, based on the first 2 races, see who to fade, right, today. But yesterday, not so much like that. Yeah. All right, folks, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, we certainly hope, unlike our horses in the first 2 races, that the rest of our horses today, along with your dreams and your endeavors, Terry, end up in the place that's been elusive so far as today, and that is the
winner's circle.
Yes, we'll see you tomorrow for opening day with a Hollywood Hay on Thursday. Till then, make it a blessed Wednesday.